Hello, people of God. This is your friend and sister Prosperity. It is 11:19 p.m. here in Texas. I just want to give another update on my journey and my testimony. So, God is actually starting to do a lot of beautiful things regarding sending me support, sending me help, sending his people, his best people actually, to encourage me. And I'm very grateful for that. And as always, when God is sending, when God is starting to fulfill the promises that he's made to you, the enemy will keep fighting and keep fighting and keep coming at you. So, as I said in my other video, my three children are in Florida with my ex-husband. He is so toxic. The situation is so toxic. So a prophet, someone also very close to me, someone prophesied to me and said that they could see him teaming up with my mother, who has also been very toxic towards me since I've been married. They said they could see him teaming up with her after I came to Texas. When I tell y'all, I regret with every fiber in my being, I regret leaving my kids there. I do. I regret leaving my kids there. I don't think that they're unsafe, but it's just so toxic. Like even just now. So my ex-husband, he took my two daughters to my mother's place. It's 12 o'clock in the morning, 12:21 a.m. in Florida. He just left. Well, he just got back to the house with our 6-year-old son. Our 6-year-old son, he's already stressed. He's already had one emotional breakdown since I left, because the enemy tried to start feeding him a fear that his family was going to die. And when I say his family, I mean his dad, then me, then his sisters, then him. Y'all know I'm a prayer warrior. I pray for my baby like until he falls asleep. I will pray up until 2 hours after he's sleeping. I will still be praying with him, right? So my ex-husband, it's a lot, y'all. It's very aggravating. He just said to me, I'm the last person to be talking about toxic. You will only understand this situation if you were married to a narcissist. As this man is controlling, manipulative, always sowing seeds of negativity, always sowing negative seeds. Just like he told my daughter something negative the other night. He had no business telling her anything about the courts when their mom already is not there. Their mother is the only mother that they know. I'm the only woman that's been there from. This man did not even want me to have our children. Do you hear what I'm saying? But I still carried them. I gave birth to them. He started loving them after I had them. But the beginning, when I would tell him I'm pregnant, and I didn't get pregnant until after we got married. My first pregnancy was 4 months after we got married. It was never a positive celebration. Y'all just pray for me. Please pray for me, because the amount of stress and anxiety that the enemy wants, he's not gonna allow me to have it. It's there, but God is not gonna allow it to physically, mentally, and emotionally. I have been at much lower points with this man. So tonight, he gets back from my mother's place. And my mother has always been a strong advocate for him. He's so amazing. He's so wonderful. Oh, she loves him so much. For years, she's called me now her daughter-in-law, and she calls him her son. And I just look at her. I just look at him. And we were married. The divorce was just finalized last November 2022. So, a little backstory, y'all. Before I left Florida, he knew that I was planning to move to Texas with the kids because God is calling me to Texas. God is calling me and my children to Texas. God spent 9, 10 months getting me into alignment because I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think I had enough courage. I didn't think I was anything really being married to him. He controlled and he did everything. He manipulated everything. Everything was in his control. If he said no, it was a no. If he said we shouldn't go right, we shouldn't go right. We should go left. So for me to be in Texas right now, that in itself is a miracle. So anyway, before I left Florida, at first he had an issue with it. And so I would try as little as possible to mention Texas. I would always try. These past 9 months, I would try not to mention Texas around him. Even when I came to Texas in April to visit, it was like this weird fear. Like anybody who has been with a narcissist or anybody who has been in a manipulative situation, you will understand what I'm saying. It's like, you know how you're not afraid of the person, but you're like you're afraid of their reaction, right? You're afraid of the confrontation. Like you just don't want the stress, the headache. So I would try as much as possible not to mention Texas because I just knew like he'll be looking and very silent, but I've learned him enough to know that his mind is always working and it's always on something negative. He's very pessimistic. So I just knew he was in disagreement. Even when I'm talking about prophetic words and words that God has given me, he'll just be looking. And I was married to that for 13 years. It wore down on me mentally, physically, and emotionally, y'all. So anyway, before I left for Florida, he got to the point where he was like, oh, I'm not going to keep trying to fight you on taking them. He said that. So I thought, okay, I'll leave the kids with him for June and July, and I'll come back and get the kids in July so that they can go to school in Texas starting August. So let me tell y'all how I was just going to go with the kids. I was just going to leave and go to Texas with the kids and not cover my back. Now I have a lot of experience of him backstabbing me, not being loyal to me, and not keeping his word. The whole marriage. There's a million examples that I could give. So I went up to the courthouse one day and I accidentally found out that if you have joint custody with another parent and you want to move out of state with the children, you should get a signature from the other parent to cover yourself, right? Just in case you leave and you go out of state with the kids and they decide, well, I'm not happy with this decision. The other parent, and then now they want to go to court and try to say something, right? So I found out about that packet when I went up to the courthouse. I went up to the courthouse for something different, to ask about something else regarding the children and the divorce. I told the lady that I was moving to Texas. I was leaving in June and I was going to come back in July and get the kids. So the lady took it upon herself to give me a relocation packet. That's when I found out you should not just leave the state if you have joint custody, especially with a narcissist, with a controlling parent, or narcissists are known for being disloyal. Very, very, very disloyal to the person closest to them. And I mean a lot of backstabbing, a lot. Like, it's dangerous. Like, I am worried for my children. There's things in my mind that like always worry me. And I just didn't know. I didn't know that from the beginning. I should have just went for full custody of my kids from the beginning. When I first filed for divorce, I did not know better. I really didn't. And I guess I didn't want that headache. And it's crazy how you try to avoid something and you end back at that point. You end up at that spot. All of this I tried to avoid. I wanted to do things peacefully. Just take my kids with me to Texas. I'm their mother. My kids have been through everything with me. Even when my ex-husband was neglectful, when he was not by my side, my children were with me. My children saw everything. So So anyway, I told him about, well, he found out about the, what is it? He found out about the relocation packet because I used his credit card to buy it from the courthouse. It was $22. And he saw the charge on his credit card. He went up to the courthouse, and he's very Snoopy, very, very Snoopy. He likes to snoop. He likes to know every inch of everything. Like, he likes to know everything. Like, y'all, if you know what a narcissist, you know about a narcissist, you know what I'm talking about. You know about their personality traits, and you know how they move. Like, it's like they want to be God, like a God-like mentality. So he said something to me. Oh, this was the first time he said to our daughter. I think he told our 10-year-old, oh, you might not have to go to Texas.